Here we are. He's back, folks. Number 2, Cooper Webb's bike. We're standing here with the Carlos Rivera. Been around a while, Carlos. Is Coop the funnest rider you've been around?
Yeah, he's pretty good. You know, all the riders I work with him, they've been fun. You know, and he's special. He's a little bit spicy, I will call. You know, he gets worked up, and but I like it because he's when he gets that weight, he delivers.
Yes, as you can see, I'm wearing the merch today. I'm a big fan of number 2, but let's talk about the motorcycle. That's why we're here. This has evolved a little bit from last year that we have heard. We don't know factual information. We all speculate, but last year, obviously, Cooper was vocal about it needed to be better in the whoop, so you guys went to work and did some things on the chassis. But let's talk about the engine package. Obviously, everything's done in-house. How is this engine delivered? What does Coop like out of his engine? Things like that.
The engine has actually been very close from last year. We done some different areas that he likes the power. You know, he likes a lot of more bottom torquey engine. He's not a high rever, but we improved some of the curve where he wanted, and after that, that's kind of like the package he chooses. It's a pretty close to stock, believe it or not, but it delivers a good power for him.
Does he like more low-end delivery? Because he always seems to cut down, and he's really low on the berm, so I would think he would want more low-end snap.
Yeah, for sure. That's the area we work hard for him. He likes to, you know, bring a real low RPM to come and hit it, and he likes to have good torque and pull out, especially when he cuts and cut down low. So that's the area we work on it, and I think we got in a good spot.
So obviously the guys are on 52 millimeter forks and a special, obviously, shock setting that you guys worked over. Was there more work on the suspension side of things for you guys this year, or was it more on the chassis side?
Mainly in the suspension. You know, we got a new bike last year, and we had to basically go completely out of the box, you know, and try to experiment different ways. The bike arrived a little later for us during the COVID deal, and it took us a little bit of time to figure it out. And we went to work, and with the help from Austria and all the people from WP, and I mean, we kind of went the right direction. And it took us a while, but we feel like we're in a good position right now.
How is Coop as a test rider? Like, we know he's vocal, you know, from some of the media things that he's said, but how is he when you guys are out at the test track during the week? Are you guys doing blind testing? Are you putting stuff on the bike that he doesn't know about, let him feel it out, or is he aware of the things that you guys change?
No, he's pretty aware of the stuff, you know. I'm a firm believer that I like to know the rider, tell the rider what we change. That way he understands the change, you know, because sometimes they tell you the feels one way, but the change, it was opposite. So I like them to understand the feel and what we change, you know. I don't like to do blind tests. Sometimes we do, if it's something that we like to completely know the comments. But no, he's actually pretty good.
Okay, so we're on the split fork again. Now the split clamp. You guys went back and forth a little bit in the years, but is this basically a production piece up front, minus, obviously, we know it's a bigger tube, so is it more basically that production KTM hard part clamp?
Yeah, basically that's basic out of the production bike. Of course, it's designed to run a 52 millimeter forks.
The pickiest portion of the bike for Coop, what is he, we don't want to say a bad word here, but what is he a pain in the ass on when it comes to this motorcycle?
He has severals.
Okay, this is good.
Yeah. One of the things he's really picky is the seat.
Okay.
The seat has to be fresh. He likes to have a firm seat, but not too firm. That's the hard part. The other thing is the front brake. He likes to have that front brake on point. The front brake, he doesn't like to be light switch, but he likes to have a lot of power. So it's very picky with the front brake, but we have a good setup in the front brake. Brembo brakes are awesome, and he's very happy now. And the other thing he's really picky is with the throttle housing. He always likes to have the throttle housing move forward, versus some guys don't like it. For some reason, that's how he likes it.
Does it make a difference? Like, people think that if they move their throttle housing back that they're going to get more throw on the throttle, but the throttle pull is a throttle pull. It's not going to matter where you put the housing, correct?
Yeah, it'll matter a little bit because the position where they start and the hand position, and as you can see, he wants a little bit higher the line on the grip too. So It makes a little bit of difference where the grip is in the position, but still the same.
What's your favorite part to build on a motorcycle after all these years when you're doing this? Obviously, Steve Mathis says you guys are nothing but grips and graphics now. You don't do anything else, but I beg to differ. So what is the most fun for you when you're going over Coop's bike from week to week?
Anyway, Steve Matthews probably remember his days when he did grips and graphics. I mean, I do more than that. Anyway, for me, the biggest thing is for work is the Acropovic system. This thing is so nice. It bolts out nice, and it, like you can see, the system right now has 2 races, and it still looks brand new. They have a special coating in the head pipe, and it's such a nice piece to work on it, and it's one of my favorite parts of the bike.
All right, so what I got out of it, you guys know this, number 2, he's back. Like, you guys are talking trash. We don't know. He wrote him off. He's in the back row. We all heard about that. But look how close he is to Eli. He is up his ass at the end of a main event. He's in shape. Bring your pudgy jokes. We can handle them. It's no big deal. Whatever. But what I learned from Carlos the most out of this whole thing is you're a pain in the ass.
Major.
Like, he just says, I said, give me one thing that Cooper is anal about on his bike. And he's like, there's several. So he said front brake, your seat. So you're a diva with your seat. What's up with your seat?
Only 2 hours on a seat, I'd say.
So someone has to break in your seats for you.
No, I like them brand new. Practice bike, I'll do 5. I'll suck it up. But race bike, want to race.
So you took the summer off, spent time with your family, watched your newborn arrive here. You're recentered. So you've had some time. You put a lot of testing on the bike. What has evolved? Obviously, people will say, oh, the whoops, the whoops, the whoops. You've been pretty good in the whoops this year. What did you need from this bike this year that was missing in the previous years?
I think for me, that's mainly been the turning. You know, I've never been the best in the whoops. I think my whoops are the best they've probably ever been so far, which is always a positive. But I think for me, it was the turning. That's what I'm always so good at, and I wasn't able to do that. I wasn't able to do, I felt like a lot of things last year. But like you said, the reset, I think, was good for me to really understand. I all summer was just thinking about what I felt the bike needed, and I did a lot of research on my own, and feel like I found some good stuff, and then the team found some great stuff too, the stuff that they had been working on all summer. So it was just a combination, but I think I knew what it takes to win physically, mentally, to do all that, but you also need a bike at this level that can do it as well, and I don't think we were quite there last year, and neither was I. So it's just a perfect storm. We've pretty much, I think I've said it multiple times, we've honestly changed about everything possible, and we're in a good spot, really good spot.
So ask Carlos what you need out of your engine. You rode some production bikes during the summer, and he says you like a lot of front side to your engine, so you cut down a lot. We've been watching it all, last 2 rounds. You're cutting lower and lower like the old school number 2. So do you like a lot of low end, or are you more of a smoother type of guy?
I definitely like a good throttle low end torque connection. I think engine braking for me is super important. I mean, if it was up to me, I wouldn't use my clutch around the whole track. So
you need engine braking.
Yeah, I love the engine braking, and I think that comes from my Yamaha days. You know, that thing had a lot of engine braking, and I'm hard on the front brake, no clutch, and I like that thing to just turn pretty much for me. So I think we're back to that spot, and like you said, I'm definitely picky, and I've gotten pickier as I've gotten older, but I think at this level you know what works for you and you know what you want, and I applaud the team for being able to have some long days and get me what I wanted.
All right, for the people at home, we all ride production bikes. No one knows what it's like to ride these things, right? You've been riding one for a very long time. You ever just wake up and go, it's pretty bitchin' to ride one of these factory bikes? And I know this is your job, so it's different than us, right? But you get to ride the best of the best in the dirt bike world. What is the best piece on this bike that just makes you like, dude, this is badass?
Unfortunately, it's tough for me because I don't wake up and drool over dirt bikes, or like for me the hardest part of racing is practicing, and like I just would, if it was up to me, I would race. That's why I race. I'm a competitive guy. Honestly, don't really care for the other stuff. So I'm not like a drooler over a bike, but if I were to be, I think just a factory dirt bike in general. As a kid, being on a factory team was what you dream of, and that's what I've always dreamed of. So But one part, I think the Krapovic exhausts are always really cool. You know, you can't really buy them. They're custom made, and I've been to the shop in Slovenia, and it's pretty cool to see the process behind it.
All right, number 2. We're at A2. Could be a coincidence, but let's flip those 2s to 1. We're going to do that.
Swipe up for merch.
That's right. If you want some Cooper Webb,
CooperWebb.com.
look it. I wanted something for Christmas. The wife's like, "What do you want?" I want a freaking number 2 hat. I got one. It's comfortable. It's good. Makes me look.
It's like worth a second a lap too.
Yeah, it's making me keep up with my kids, so that's a plus. So actually, I'm in the airport. People are like, "Oh, you ride dirt bikes?" I'm like, "A little bit." You know Cooper? Yep, I love Cooper. So a lot of fans out there.
Yeah, appreciate it.
All right, number 2, KTM Factory Red Bull Racing.